she's so fine. Hell of a ride, blows my mind. Hell of a ride, lights my day.
What's good, guys? This story is coming out of Baton Rouge. It happened 6 weeks after George Floyd's death last year. But this article came out on July the 9th via Vice. And I want to thank Dee Walsh for sending it to me because she actually sent me the video. And I have never heard of this. Cop allegedly kneels on asthmatic teen's neck. I don't give a damn. About 6 weeks after George Floyd's death, Baton Rouge police allegedly used the same tactic on a 16-year-old. His mom is suing. And like I said, I have the bystander video, and it is plain as day. There's no denying that. A black teenager not wearing his seatbelt ended up arrested face down on the pavement with a cop's knee allegedly on his neck after an hour-long car chase by multiple cop cars through the streets of Baton Rouge. Now, a year later, the teen's mother has filed a federal lawsuit against the officers involved in the arrest, as well as the department for using excessive force on her child. Tenesha Cannon says that law enforcement crossed the line when they arrested her 16-year-old son, identified only as DC. And I will tell you that in the bystander video, it's coming from Instagram. It does say the teen's name. Identified only as DC following a police chase on July the 6th, 2020. She alleges in her lawsuit that instead of handcuffing the teen and taking him away, police pushed him to the ground and applied the controversial maneuver for more than 30 seconds. She also says that her son, who has asthma, had to wear a neck brace as a result of the arrest. With the arrest coming about a month after George Floyd's death and involving an alleged neck restraint, the case received national attention from news outlets like The Advocate, as well as the likes of civil rights attorney Ben Crump. It is unconscionable and reprehensible that less than 2 months after George Floyd was murdered by an illegal police tactic, the Baton Rouge police would use that maneuver against a child, Christopher Murrell, an attorney representing the Cannon family, told Vice News. In addition to suing the officers involved in the arrest, Tenesha Cannon is suing Baton Rouge Chief Murphy Paul and the city of Baton Rouge for their part in creating an environment that allows this kind of policing to take place. Numerous state and federal lawsuits against BRPD demonstrate a pattern, custom, and practice of excessive use of force, especially against people of color, the lawsuit explains. BRPD has a long history of not properly disciplining or firing officers when they engage in illegal or improper conduct, including excessive use of force and improper, deadly use of force. DC was a passenger in a vehicle that police officer Travis Williams flagged down for a seatbelt violation, according to Tenesha Cannon's lawsuit filed earlier this week. The driver allegedly did not pull over, prompting Officer Travis Williams to call for backup and chase after it, and as many as 16 officers joined in pursuit, according to the lawsuit. The pursuit was mainly through residential areas, clearly against BRPD policy and putting the public at great risk over an alleged seatbelt violation, the lawsuit reads. Nevertheless, no officers called it off. DC remained as a passenger and was never in control of the car or its operation. However, police confirmed to Vice News in an email that the driver of the vehicle, quote, ignored multiple traffic signals, end quote, after refusing to pull over. After a nearly hour-long chase, the driver of the car finally pulled over. The driver put his hands up and remained in the car, while DC exited the vehicle and got down on his knees, also with his hands up. 3 of the officers that were chasing the car approached the driver with their weapons drawn and carried out the arrest without issue. It was much different when officers walked over to the passenger side. Though DC was unarmed and showing no resistance, officers pushed him to the pavement, pointed a gun at his face, and yanked his arms back to handcuff them as another officer kneeled on his neck for half a minute, according to the lawsuit. DC informed the officers that he has asthma, to which one of the officers can be heard on body camera footage replying, quote, I don't give a damn, end quote, the lawsuit says. Baton Rouge police contend that the officer's knee was on DC's back. However, The lawsuit says that police body camera footage and bystander video shows the officer clearly kneeling on his neck. At this time, BRPD is not going to comment on specific allegations in the lawsuit due to pending litigation, Baton Rouge Police Department spokesperson told Vice News. In recent years, the Baton Rouge Police Department has been the subject of several high-profile instances of alleged police brutality. Earlier this year, the department started an investigation into the brutal arrest of a 13-year-old teenager in which an officer employed the use of a chokehold. That same month, the Baton Rouge City Council approved a $4.5 million settlement with the family of Alton Sterling, a black man shot and killed by police while he was selling CDs outside of a convenience store in 2016. The Baton Rouge police keep promising accountability, yet we find ourselves as a community here again and again in the same situation, Murrell said. This must change now. We all must demand justice for this child and all those others harassed, abused, and wrongfully arrested by the BRPD. Now I'm going to go ahead and play the bystander video that I have, and then I'm going to read the post. It is very interesting.
Freedom boys, man. Freedom boys, man. Real shit. Freedom boys, man. Real niggas, man. Freedom boys.
Now, that video and this post have received 77,196 views as of the time of this video. And it's coming from the account of Gary Chambers Jr. And I'm going to read this post. It says, this is 17-year-old Dillon Cannon on the ground with a Baton Rouge police officer's knee in his neck. Let me begin by saying any cop that puts their knee in the neck of a citizen they are attempting to detain in America needs to be fired immediately. No exceptions. No excuses. It can't be allowed under any circumstances. Cops are trained, and this is trained behavior clearly because it's happening everywhere. Dillon and his were being pulled over for a simple traffic violation according to his family. I spoke with his mother this morning. She was on the phone with him and encouraged them to keep driving to a more populated area before they let the cops stop them. Based on the information I've been given, police apparently took this as them fleeing. It was a slow speed chase that was really just two young black men taking instructions from their loved ones. His mother said she got him to get off the phone with her and put the phone on the seat and get out. He was not resisting, yet he ended up with a knee in his neck. To make matters worse, other black cops are there and no one says, get your knee off his neck. They should get disciplinary action also. It doesn't matter if they had him there for 2 seconds. It's unacceptable and has caused too many deaths. A cop doing this after George Floyd knows exactly what they are doing. Please take a minute of your time and email Mayor Sharon Weston Broome and the Chief of the Baton Rouge Police, Murphy Paul, and ask for the body cam footage to be released. The officer kneeling on Dillon's neck to be identified and fired immediately. We don't need to investigate what we can see on tape. Also, the officers standing and not stopping this action need disciplinary action as well. When we join together, we can get results. We can't accept unacceptable behavior from cops in this climate. Mayor Broome and Chief Paul have been committed in action to reforming the Baton Rouge Police Department. It is my hope they will continue to reform the department and rid the department of this officer. Then it has the email address for both the mayor and also the chief of police. And it says, thanks to Byron Washington for bringing this to my attention. It received 564 comments as of the time of this video. And it came out, or was posted rather, on July the 12th of 2020. And need I say that I agree wholeheartedly with this. It is plain as day. He is kneeling on this kid's neck for an incredible amount of time. And no officer stopped that. Not one single officer. And I do think they should receive disciplinary action. They say one bad apple spoils the bunch. Yes, I agree. I agree. And that's what we're seeing. If we can get rid of these bad apples, I think we'll be making some serious progress in the way of police reform. But these bad apples, the department knows who they are. Their co-workers know who they are. There's got to be a way to weed these people out of these jobs because they don't belong there. They just simply don't belong there. I'm going to end the video on that note, but I definitely wanted to bring this to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys.